to WWE Velocity. Michael Cole here alongside Corey Graves and Byron Saxton. We kick things off with John Cena against a local competitor named Bryan Danielson.
I gotta say, Cole, I'm surprised Cena's not rapping at all tonight.
Well, that's because John Cena is focused. He's facing Brock Lesnar on SmackDown next week, and he's going to make an example of Bryan Danielson right here tonight.
Shoulder breaker. Incredible impact.
Big slam.
I think Cena is a little surprised by the offense of this relative unknown.
Cena's new attitude, man, made him overlook Danielson. His shoulders are down.
John Cena's modified powerbomb has defeated some heavy hitters as of late, and a small guy like Bryan Danielson has to have a huge target on his back.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing, Saxton. He picks up his opponent as if he's doing a belly-to-back suplex, then twists them around in midair and plants them like somebody would do with a rock bottom. Panic starting to set in for Cena. This could be a huge upset right here.
I'm seeing shades of Razor Ramon on Raw in 1993, guys. A high-flying nobody is about to beat one of WWE's best.
Cena is too distracted by Brock Lesnar on the horizon. He's got to focus on surviving this match.
The two of you mentioned Cena's devastating modified powerbomb, but what will work on a tiny loser like Bryan Danielson won't do for Brock Lesnar. I think Cena might have to develop something new to take down the next big thing.
John Cena's been on a roll lately.
He's fighting back here.
I expected nothing less, Cole.
Is he done? Gets to the ropes, forcing the break.
And Michael, I have to question the decision to go for a submission so close to the ropes.
Oh, nasty impact.
The two of you mentioned Cena's new trash-talking raps. He has so much to work with this nerd Bryan Danielson. I can't believe he didn't have a jam ready today.
Well, there's a time to rap and a time to shut your mouth. When Brock Lesnar is your next opponent, it definitely better be the last.
Don't tell Cena to shut his mouth, Byron. Look at Bryan Danielson.
Oh, it's locked in, the armbar.
I don't know, is that enough to stop Cena? Well, John Cena's in a real bad spot.
Look at Bryan Danielson. Whoa, he lets him out.
What a fool. He had him dead to rights.
Back in control of Cena, right back to the arm.
Great strategy, weaken the more powerful Cena by taking away one of his arms.
Bryan sticking to his wheelhouse, not taking any unnecessary risks here against John Cena.
Oh, just looking to control and neutralize the bigger man. Cena, though, back to his feet, and Bryan continues to work on the arm, but now Cena, test of strength, and you don't want to get into a power battle with John.
Absolutely not. Cover here.
And a kick out. And again, Cena power. What a stomp.
Good grief.
John Cena is showing his strength there in the early going, getting the upper hand on Danielson.
Yeah, Danielson's got some technical skill, but he's starting to be overwhelmed by Cena's brute force.
Right to the back of the neck. Toss to the outside. He's in trouble.
He's almost got him.
Oh, debilitating elbow drop.
He knows he's in trouble. We know what's coming.
Beautiful technique.
Here's his moment, Michael.
This might be it.
Oh, my. This one is over.
He doesn't want to do this outside the ring. Going for something else, it seems.
I suspect he knows something that we don't, Cole. Why else would he just let him out of that hole?
Snap suplex.
Very nice.
I think we're about to see a high-risk move from the top rope.
Look at this.
So you can, oh, shoulder breaker. He wants no part of the outside.
Oh, boy, he is rolling.
He goes for the cover.
Too close for cover. Unbelievable. This is the Cena that's just about unstoppable.
If you're Bryan Danielson, what do you do at this point as he whips Cena across the ring?
Oh, Cena gets up a boot just in time.
And now John Cena looking to take it. Looking up, put Bryan Danielson where he wants him. And here's the cover. And he got him. Cena with the win over Bryan Danielson.
Here is your winner, John
Valiant effort by
Cena.
Danielson, but Cena was just too much.
We're here on the inaugural episode of NXT. The World Heavyweight Champion Chris Jericho taking on the Miz's rookie, Daniel Bryan.
I've been looking forward to this main event. WrestleMania is on the horizon, but tonight is a WrestleMania of sorts for all the NXT rookies.
Well, Daniel Bryan was excited earlier in the night to be out on the biggest stage of his life, but that was before he knew he was going to face the World Heavyweight Champion. He's going to have to learn to take Miz's advice. If he wants to survive here. Severe damage being inflicted to the back.
So you're gonna, goodness, that hurt the shoulder. Ah, backdrop suplex.
Got the leg.
Banging screw.
That'll tear your knee up.
Double underhook suplex.
You gotta believe this one's over.
Emotions have been running high all night, guys. Daniel Bryan has to put everything that happened earlier in the rearview mirror.
Look at this. And Jericho pops the shoulder up.
It'll take a lot more than that to keep him down.
Harsh impact. Just attacking the back.
Uh-oh, what's this? Daniel... There's no way that Jericho's going to lose to this guy.
Yeah, but the way this match is going, it's a real possibility.
Jericho, though, needs a breather, and he rolls out of the ring.
Daniel Bryan just stopped dead in his tracks. Man, he's in bad shape now. This is what makes him one of the best in the business.
Specifically targeting the leg.
There it is.
But now, can Bryan make the most of it?
And he's heading back in. Back in from the floor.
Guys, you're getting ahead of yourself. Be some sort of miracle. See, I told you. For now, roll him into the walls of Jericho. Tap him out, Chris.
Bryan's trying to fight it.
Rolls through. What a counter by the technician, Daniel Bryan.
Oh, my God.
Heel hook is in.
Jericho's in trouble.
Jericho tried it. Is he going to tap? Is he going to tap?
He may have no choice.
He made it to the bottom rope. The Miz and Daniel Bryan have been polar opposites throughout their careers, making for a fierce rivalry. But the weird part is that the indie darling Daniel Bryan began in WWE as a protege of reality star The Miz on NXT.
Miz and Daniel Bryan were teammates in name only. You know, some NXT pairings, like myself and Dolph Ziggler, had excellent pro-rookie relationships. Miz and Bryan, however, hated each other from the very start.
You two brought up that acrimonious relationship between The Miz and Daniel Bryan. Miz abused Bryan, and Bryan fought back, taking Miz's spot in the SummerSlam main event, and then his United States Championship just a month later.
After laying dormant for a few years, The Miz and Daniel Bryan's hatred resurfaced in the infamous Talking Smack segment. After Daniel Bryan returned to action and pulled strings to get The Miz moved to SmackDown Live, you know, this rivalry is far from over, even after 8 years.
German suplex! Woo. Between his championship, his briefcase, and his media obligations, Miz is slipping just a little here. He'll bounce back. Every title's on the line here tonight at Night of Champions. The Miz is no stranger to championships. At one point, he held the U.S. title and the Tag Team Championship simultaneously. And that briefcase is a near-guaranteed WWE Championship win.
Okay, Michael, I know where you're going to go with this. I know what you're trying to lead to. Yes, Daniel Bryan hasn't won a title here yet, but he's only been on the roster for 8 months. Give him time.
The two of you discussed Miz's longer title reign resume than Daniel Bryan, but I have to point out that Daniel Bryan just did something Miz hasn't done yet. He main evented SummerSlam.
I mean, come on, Daniel Bryan stole that spot at SummerSlam after John Cena begged The Miz to join his team. Also, when The Miz wins here and then cashes in later tonight, he'll have plenty of main events in his future.
Ooh, what impact.
Oh, this looks to be a barn burner, gentlemen. These two guys hate each other.
Corey, come on. The Miz is WWE's fastest rising star, and Daniel Bryan is a nerdy vegan. Bryan's got no chance here tonight.
And it's Bryan showing some agility.
He's got the shoulders down.
He's flipped the switch, that's for sure. Michael may have ragged on Daniel Bryan's diet, but that quote-unquote nerdy vegan is WWE's most effective submission expert.
And Miz is as crafty as the day is long. That makes for a pretty interesting confrontation.
I don't like the look in his eye here, folks.
Look out!
Oh, shoulder breaker! I just cannot believe the disrespect The Miz had to endure at the hands of Daniel Bryan. All he wanted to do on NXT was help Bryan, and that vegan nerd never listened.
Whoa, disrespect? Disrespect? That The Miz slapped Daniel Bryan in the face on the very first episode of NXT. If I were ever to be on NXT, I'd never take that kind of abuse from my pro.
You on NXT?
You guys brought up Miz and Bryan's relationship on NXT. Obviously, Bryan can't learn any new moves from The Miz, but ironically, Bryan's hatred of The Miz did awaken the personality Miz said Bryan lacked.
Back in from the floor, going all the way up.
I don't know why anyone's surprised that The Miz and Daniel Bryan's relationship has come to this. The Miz can never keep an ally on his side.
Ain't that the truth? Every person the Awesome One has won the tag titles with has ended up hating The Miz. Remember the night after Extreme Rules when the Big Show's KO punch ended Show Miz?
Nailed it. The two of you brought up Miz's former partnerships, and can I just point out the common element between Bryan and The Miz's old tag partners? Just like Bryan, they were all jealous of The Miz. Boom, what impact. Ooh. Whoa, down he goes.
That was impressive, Cole. Beautiful technique.
He's flipped it. What happens if The Miz comes up short here tonight against Daniel Bryan?
Well, it hasn't happened yet, has it, Byron?
Could be on the verge of occurring. Daniel Bryan from the top rope. Miz is in trouble.
Yeah, but look at The Miz fight back. What a warrior. Oh, no.
The Miz is showboating, but I'm not sure this occasion calls for it.
Wow, talk about knowing where you're at all times.
Drop kick with precision.
The Miz with a nice reversal. Daniel Bryan looking to attack from high. Incoming.
Focused attack on the back.
Here we go. Daniel Bryan is in position.
Great job escaping, trying to turn this thing around.
Miz is doing all he can to damage Daniel Bryan, to negate that dangerous label lock.
I don't want to negate more than that. Bryan has submissions we haven't seen for years in WWE.
Here we go. Daniel Bryan is in position.
Uh-oh, Bryan looking for it.
Got him with the S-lock.
Oh, man, the champ looks absolutely out of it right now.
I think Daniel Bryan just secured this match.
He's lining him up.
He's looking shaky. This could be the end.
And that one drops him.
Somebody's on a mission tonight.
This will damage your back.
What a stomp. Good grief. Oh, he turns it around.
This is sickening to watch. The ref had no choice but to call.
Caught him with a big boot.
On the mark.
Belly to belly.
Ooh, earth-shattering spine buster.
Nailed it. What a strike. Kane and Daniel Bryan are seeming to get along thus far, Corey.
Yeah, they're getting along for one reason. To get rid of that quack, Dr. Shelby. Even I would try to get along with you, Cole, if it meant not listening to Dr. Shelby. This is not the place where you want to underestimate your competition.
Absolutely not. So, Michael, let me ask you, did Daniel Bryan's anger management issues begin way back in April at WrestleMania, when Bryan, who was World Heavyweight Champion at the time, lost his title to Sheamus in a record 18 seconds? It's been haunting Daniel Bryan for months.
Yes, it did. Listen, Daniel Bryan confessed that WrestleMania was the most embarrassing moment of his whole life, and that's including the time his fiancée left him at the altar. Come to think of it, that was this year, too. I can't blame Daniel for feeling some stress.
Lariat! Leading up to this match, a lot of praise was thrown on Kofi and R-Truth. Kofi being a three-time Intercontinental Champion and both having time as United States Champion. Well, Daniel Bryan has his accolades as well.
Of course, Daniel Bryan won the United States Championship at this same pay-per-view 2 years ago against The Miz. He also went on to win a Money in the Bank and become a World Heavyweight Champion. Look at this. Oh, what a slam.
Bringing up Daniel Bryan's time as World Heavyweight Champion, he did lose that title in only 18 seconds to Sheamus at WrestleMania.
Why? Why do you have to go and bring that up, Saxton? You know Daniel's in a fragile state right now, and you bring up a moment where he was caught off guard and hit by a now outlawed Brogue Kick.
Ever since Kofi and R-Truth became allies, they've been on a tear in WWE. They know how to work together as a tag team. Then on the other side of the ring, judging from the last few weeks, Kane and Daniel Bryan are far from being on the same page.
Same page? Daniel and Kane aren't even reading the same book. Whereas Kofi and Truth, they're finishing each other's sentences.
And R-Truth evades that one.
You're talking about being on the same page, and Truth and Kofi certainly are. But wouldn't you think Kane and Daniel Bryan's shared experience in anger management can create a chemistry of sorts?
Kofi and Truth have held those titles for 5 months. You'd be ridiculous to think that trust falls and yelling at kids wearing goat masks for a couple of weeks is going to get you the same kind of chemistry the tag team champions have. We've been seeing Daniel and Kane in therapy for weeks now. It's not anger management that these two need. What they need is respect from the WWE Universe. These Yes Chance fans do are an absolute mockery to Daniel Bryan. I don't blame him one bit for being angry.
Oh, man! Ouch. Irish whip.
He controls the pace of a match, quite like this guy.
You know, Corey, I see Daniel's issues with the Yes Champ, but I don't have a problem with it. I mean, even in Montreal, where we were for Raw this past week, the crowd chants, "We, we, we," so these Yes Chants are becoming bilingual.
Oh, very cute, Cole. Daniel Bryan just a few feet away, and you're doing that. You should see if you're...
He's got him covered. The pin's broken up.
I can't believe it.
Oh, man, that hurt the back. Spine rattling. Daniel Bryan has so much on his mind right now. He was ballistic at a WWE.com interview. The problem is Daniel Bryan, he's a great competitor, but this crowd constantly distracts him. How can anybody do their work when this is going on?
Oh, it's absolutely unfair. Bryan has to keep his anger in.
He might have it.
Kofi Kingston is obviously showing concern for R-Truth, as any good tag team partner would.
We haven't really been seeing that kind of concern for a partner between Kane and Bryan, however. We touched on how much is going through Daniel Bryan's head right now. Again, this all started when Daniel Bryan thought the fans were embracing him. And then when he realized they were actually humiliating him by repeating his Yes Chant, Daniel Bryan just snapped.
And that's one of the reasons he seemingly has gone off the deep end as of late. And as a result, the Raw general manager forced Daniel Bryan to attend anger management therapy.
Ooh, what impact. You know, I have to say, I've seen some progress in Kane and Daniel Bryan's anger management. I don't think they are all the way there, but there's been definite progress.
I see it too, Michael. We don't see Daniel screaming in the face of fans anymore. He's keeping his composure pretty well. And Kane, well, Kane is still Kane. There is some deep-rooted trouble within that monster.
And oh my God, what a...
Here comes Daniel Bryan sending Kingston across the ring.
And Daniel Bryan looking to put Kofi Kingston away for the tag team titles. Drop kick. Kingston's in trouble.
The
Kane
are in peril. The Big Red Machine making the long climb to the top of the...
A sold-out Raw here in Charleston, South Carolina. Daniel Bryan and Randy Orton started the night with a double disqualification, but they will settle things in the main event with a street fight.
Randy Orton called Daniel Bryan a weak link. Kane called Daniel Bryan a weak link. Bryan is here to prove that he is not a weak link.
Tall order as he faces 9-time WWE champion.
A sold-out Raw here in Charleston, South Carolina. Daniel Bryan and Randy Orton started the night with a double disqualification, but they will settle things in the main event with a street fight.
Randy Orton called Daniel Bryan a weak link. Kane called Daniel Bryan a weak link. Bryan is here to prove that he is not a weak link.
Tall order as he faces 9-time WWE champion Randy Orton.
Elbow drop with authority. You gotta believe this one's over.
It's kind of a shame that Orton and Bryan are fighting tonight and that they will also be brawling with Kane in the Money in the Bank match, since those three men are the only trio to pin or submit the Shield in a six-man tag team match.
It's even more impressive when you consider the trios that fell to the Shield at WrestleMania. Orton, Sheamus, and The Big Show failed. On the Raw 2 weeks after WrestleMania, Team Hell No and The Undertaker couldn't do it. Last week, Team Hell No and Orton finally beat the Shield, and in 3 weeks, they'll be fighting each other for Money in the Bank.
Oof! Boom!
Randy Orton and Daniel Bryan are both as tough as they come, and this is a matter of pride between both men. These are two guys you don't want to lose, especially to each other.
Look, we did see things get heated earlier tonight, but I think there's still a level of respect here. Neither is going to cheat to defeat the other. It's all about proving that you are the best. Harsh impact.
Boom, what impact! Up against the barrier now.
I think that barrier might be the only thing holding him up.
I think you're right.
Saxton, you were blathering about these guys being respectful, and I got to dispute you. Orton's done some despicable things to get ahead, and Bryan certainly wasn't respectful when he cashed in Money in the Bank on the Big Show. You do what you can to get ahead in this industry.
Corey, that's all in the past. The WWE Universe loves both these guys because they're all about competition, not cheating. I'm not surprised that Randy Orton couldn't make it as a tag team partner for Daniel Bryan. He hasn't had the best track record with allies this year.
That's true, Byron. Orton put his neck out for the Big Show to help him and Sheamus take on the Shield at WrestleMania. That match ended with Big Show punching out both his partners. Boom, right to the jaw.
Oh, you could pick up your teeth in Section 112. You two gentlemen mentioned Orton's bad luck with tag partners. After Big Show's betrayal, Sheamus and Orton couldn't get along. It's a minor miracle that Orton helped Team Hell No beat the Shield.
Needless to say, I don't think we'll be seeing Orton teaming up with anyone in that locker room for quite some time after tonight.
He's making a statement here with this attack.
This might be it. Oh, my. Oh, continuing to punish them. That right. Here's the cover.
Yeah, I don't believe that he didn't win this match right there.
Have to put in a little more work than that.
We're seeing two favorites of the WWE Universe battle it out here, and it's fitting that the WWE Universe voted for this to be a street fight.
The hashtags have been trending all night on social media, but the people picked a street fight over a Falls Count Anywhere and a lumberjack match. I normally disagree with the people, but they made a good call here tonight. Slam down hard.
Slam.
Impactful. Will jar your spine.
He's stalking his opponent from the top turnbuckle. Look at this.
What height.
A street fight is apropos for Daniel Bryan and Randy Orton, seen as both men will take part in a Money in the Bank ladder match in 3 weeks' time.
All the weapons we'll see Bryan and Orton sling tonight is just a prelude to the unforgiving steel ladders that play in a Money in the Bank match.
He's really taking over this match now.
Irish whip. Ooh.
You two brought up the upcoming Money in the Bank match. Don't forget that Kane's in that match, too. I wonder if Bryan's going to be able to... stay sane with so many agitating factors in play in that match.
I think Daniel Bryan will thrive, actually. He's won Money in the Bank more recently than Kane, and Randy Orton still hasn't won Money in the Bank after multiple attempts.
this hurts. Oh! Randy Orton has had rage issues, and Daniel Bryan is no stranger to anger management. Who has the advantage in a twisted match like this?
There's a world of difference between how... Bryan and Orton processed their anger. Orton's turned it into a Hall of Fame career. Bryan suffered some of his worst losses due to his mental issues.
He may not like being called a weak link, but these attacks have to be weakening Daniel Bryan.
Well, if this keeps up, the GOAT may be soon led to slaughter.
Oh, an elbow drop. Knocked him right off his feet.
Yeah, no kidding.
This rivalry between Daniel Bryan and Randy Orton has been simmering for weeks and looks to violently explode during this street fight.
Bryan has been determined to show he can beat Orton. Last week on Raw, Randy Orton won the match via ref stoppage when Bryan injured his arm. Bryan got a countout win 4 days later on SmackDown, but he wants a definitive win over the Viper here tonight.
We recounted Daniel Bryan and Randy Orton's matches as of late. We thought it would be settled in tonight's... match, but they brawled to a double disqualification.
Well, you won't see a count-out, DQ, or an injury in this match. One of these guys is going to be pinned or submitted at the conclusion of this street fight.
Watch this here. Oh, my God. Daniel Bryan has been consumed with the idea that he's a weak link due to his performances in tag team competition as of late.
Well, Bryan tends to be consumed by just about every minor annoyance, but he did take the pin in 3 straight tag team championship losses to the Shield.
He's in full control now. Point of the elbow, nailed it.
Bringing back up Daniel Bryan as a weak link. Note that he's not sorry he let Kane down when he cost Team Hell No the tag titles, or that he failed Randy Orton in their quest for the tag titles. Bryan's just thinking about himself here.
Look, Bryan may have faltered in those matches, but Bryan was also the guy who got Seth Rollins to tap out for the Shield's first ever 6-man tag team loss. He can obviously be a team player, but right now, Bryan is out to prove he's a single superstar. We saw Team Hell No dissolved last week on Raw as both Kane and Daniel Bryan turned their sights towards the WWE Championship.
Step 1 in that process is beating Randy Orton. Defeating a guy of Orton's stature puts you near the front of the line for title opportunities.
Incredible action in this match so far. Going back to Kane and Daniel Bryan's breakup, it seemed cordial, but their counter here.
Success breeds success, and he's definitely having some right now.
Whoa, down he goes.
That was impressive, Cole.
Breaker.
Hammerlock applied. Oh, no, no. Uh-oh. Oh, it's going to break an arm.
Oh, man.
gosh, why?
Forearm's gonna cut off the wind.
Oh, and he releases the hold.
Wow. Part of me thought that was it, Cole.
Daniel Bryan has a major task ahead of him tonight. He's got to beat a man with just about every accolade on his resume in the form of Randy Orton.
Yeah, Corey, you're not kidding. Orton has held the Intercontinental Championship, the Tag Team Championship. He's won the Royal Rumble and has been WWE Champion 9 times.
We compared Randy Orton and Daniel Bryan's accolades before, and Daniel Bryan has a decent resume, too, as he's won Money in the Bank and has held the U.S. title, tag team titles, and the world title.
One great job escaping, trying to turn this thing around.
When this guy's on, look out. Randy Orton and Daniel Bryan are both as tough as they come, and this is a matter of pride between both men. These are two guys you don't want to lose, especially to each other.
Look, we did see things get heated earlier tonight, but I think there's still a level of respect here. Neither is going to cheat to defeat the other. It's all about proving that you are the best.
Forearm's gonna cut off the wind.
Going for something else, it seems.
I suspect he knows something that we don't, Cole. Why else would he just let him out of that hole?
Saxton, you were blathering about these guys being respectful, and I gotta dispute you. Orton's done some despicable things to get ahead, and Bryan certainly wasn't respectful when he cashed in Money in the Bank on the Big Show. Forearm's gonna cut off the wind.
Oh, here we go. What's he gonna do with it? Oh, shoulder breaker. He's in control. Vertical suplex. Nice. This rivalry between Daniel Bryan and Randy Orton has been simmering for weeks and looks divine. Look out! Here it comes. He's got him.
The yes lock is in.
Wow.
The yes lock is in.
Unreal.
There it is. It's locked in.
Smart maneuver. That's how you put an exclamation point on the end of a match, guys. Randy Orton got the worst end of that stick.
We recounted Daniel Bryan and Randy Orton's matches as of late. We thought it would be settled in tonight's opening match, but they brawled to a double disqualification.
Well, you won't see a count out, DQ, or an injury in this match. One of these guys is going to be pinned or submitted at the conclusion of this street fight.
Look out here. What's he got in mind? A street fight is apropos for Daniel Bryan and Randy Orton, seen as both men will take part in a Money in the Bank ladder match in 3 weeks' time.
All the weapons we'll see Bryan and Orton sling tonight is just a prelude to the unforgiving steel ladders at play in a Money in the Bank match. Oh boy, he is rolling.
There it is.
Did you hear that crack?
There it is.
Did you hear that crack?
You two brought up the upcoming Money in the Bank match. Don't forget that Kane's in that match, too. I wonder if Bryan's going to be able to stay sane with so many agitating factors in play in that match.
I think Daniel Bryan will thrive, actually. He's won Money in the Bank more recently than Kane, and Randy Orton still hasn't won Money in the Bank after multiple attempts.
Oh, nasty impact.
Oh, what an uppercut.
Daniel Bryan has a major task ahead of him tonight. He's got to beat a man with just about every accolade on his resume in the form of Randy Orton.
Yeah, Corey, you're not kidding. Orton has held the Intercontinental Championship, the Tag Team Championship. He's won the Royal Rumble and has been WWE Champion 9 times.
We compared Randy Orton and Daniel Bryan's accolades before, and Daniel Bryan has a decent resume, too, as he's won Money in the Bank and has held the U.S. title, tag team titles, and the world title 1 time each.
That's just it, Cole. Bryan's had a taste of success. Orton's been feasting on it forever.
looking for the finish.
Oh, the yes lock is cinched in.
It's locks in. What's Randy Orton going to do?
Will the Viper tap out?
Orton's in serious trouble.
Trying to drag himself to the ropes, but remember, the ropes aren't going to cause a break here.
Guys.
Because it's a street fight, and Orton with a kendo stick. Whoa!
Repeated strikes with a kendo stick. Orton wearing the weapon out.
Daniel Bryan has been consumed with the idea that he's a weak link due to his performances in tag team competition as of late.
Well, Bryan tends to be consumed by just about every minor annoyance, but he did take the pin in. Three straight tag team championship losses to the Shield.
He's making a statement here with this attack.
Incredible.
There was a lot of force behind that one.
Ooh, what impact. He's left wide open here.
I don't think he even realizes it. You look. Dave.
This is about to get bad. Oh, no.
There was a lot of force behind that one. That'll cost some teeth.
The Viper getting absolutely pounded right now. Randy Orton got the worst end of that stick.
Incredible. There was a lot of force behind that one. Incredible. There was a lot of force behind that one.
There it is. Did you hear that crack?
Incredible. There was a lot of force. Beautiful technique.
The Viper strikes again. I love it. This is Randy Orton's chance.
Uh-oh, he's in trouble here.
You gotta believe this one's over. The Viper getting absolutely pounded right now. Randy Orton got the worst end of that stick.
Incredible. There was a lot of force. Nailed it.
The Viper strikes again. I love it.
Nobody controls the pace of a match quite like this guy.
Taken off his feet here.
And it's moves like that that make him so dangerous.
The yes lock is in.
Wow.
The yes lock is in.
Unreal.
Harsh impact. To think, I almost wrote him off earlier. You don't want to get locked into that move for a long time.
There it is. Did you hear that crack? There it is. Did you hear that crack? Oh boy, he is rolling. There it is. Did you hear that crack?
Incredible. There was a lot of force behind that one. Incredible. There was a lot of force behind that one.
Boom, what impact. Drop kick. Beautiful. Goes down hard.
Oh, nasty impact.
The Viper getting absolutely pounded right now.
Incredible. Daniel Bryan using the kendo stick for leverage. And Orton taps out. Randy Orton taps out.
What a win for Daniel Bryan.
Career-defining win for Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan with one of the biggest victories of his career. Weeks of anticipation finally leads to this. The most polarizing individual in WWE history, John Cena, against a man with an incredible groundswell of support, Daniel Bryan. Will the 11-time WWE Champion retain his title, or will we enter the era of Bryan?
It's been a long time since we've seen someone be as hot with the WWE Universe as Daniel Bryan has been in recent months. I mean, we haven't seen this kind of electric momentum since guys like The Rock, or even Bryan's opponent, John Cena.
Bryan sees Cena as an entertainer, while Daniel calls himself a wrestler, and a more superior one than Cena. The champion disagrees. We'll see who's right tonight.
guys, there's a stark difference in the accolades between Daniel Bryan and John Cena. Bryan's never held the WWE Championship, while John Cena has held it 11 times.
Daniel Bryan argues that John can't possibly be able to understand what he's feeling. How could Cena understand the hunger, understand the desire Daniel has to hold the WWE Championship just once? Again, guys, John Cena is an 11-time WWE Champion. Daniel Bryan just wants it once. He wants to be the WWE Champion for one reason, and it's not for the fame or the glory. It's so everybody would know that whenever he steps foot in the ring, there is nobody better than him.
In Daniel Bryan's eyes, this is the biggest match of his life. While for John Cena, this is just another SummerSlam. It's hunger versus content.
And look at the quickness by Cena.
These two competed against each other 10 years ago on an episode of WWE Velocity, in a time before John Cena brought us into an era of ruthless aggression.
10 years is a very long time, Michael, and Daniel and John have been on a distinctively different path since that night. He'd be smart to stay put there.
Daniel Bryan's been showing shades of his former mentor, Shawn Michaels, here tonight.
Well, Cena's very familiar with Michaels, but Bryan has a greater striking game than HBK ever did.
Byron said these two have been on different journeys since they first met, Corey. Daniel Bryan believes this path has given him a deeper love for our sport.
Well, in Daniel's opinion, if John Cena were fired tomorrow, he'd go back to his mansion and his multi-million-dollar lifestyle and never wrestle again. If Daniel Bryan gets fired, and it has happened, if Bryan gets fired, you'll see him in every armory, every gymnasium that's filled with 30 people and a wrestling ring, because Daniel Bryan loves wrestling.
I'm so glad to see Triple H step up to be the referee tonight. He's been a big supporter of Daniel Bryan and only wants to see Daniel get a fair shot at the title tonight. Something I don't believe Mr. McMahon wants.
Well, Triple H sees the drive in Daniel Bryan, and sure, he went over the boss's head when he inserted himself as a referee, but a match of this magnitude needs someone impartial, someone who's going to call it straight down the middle, and Triple H is that guy.
Uh-oh. Here we go. Interesting quote from John Cena at the SummerSlam press conference this past Tuesday in L.A.
A barrage of strikes. Endless. Here's his chance to win this.
Oh, the old European uppercut. This might be it.
Oh, my. I'm not sure how much he has left. Hopefully, John Cena can...
Oh, it's locked in.
Game, set, match. This one is over.
I want to answer.
Oh, and he breaks free.
But the damage might have already been done, Michael.
Targeting the chest. Very effective.
There's something we should address, something we need to think of. Randy Orton has been playing mind games with both of these men in recent weeks. Orton possesses the Money in the Bank contract. He can cash it in at any time. It's just something else these two need to keep in mind.
He's looking shaky. This could be the end.
Michael, you remind us of Randy Orton possibly lurking in the shadows with that Money in the Bank contract. The Viper could be more like a vulture tonight if he chooses to cash in that contract.
I don't think either John or Daniel have any room in their mind to be thinking about anything else other than the task at hand, gentlemen.
Chest. We have to credit John Cena for handpicking Daniel Bryan for this opportunity tonight. Cena respecting Daniel as an athlete and competitor. He says Bryan is going to put up one hell of a fight tonight.
Look, let me decipher that for you. In John Cena code, put up one hell of a fight means I'm John Cena and you're going to lose because I'm the man around here. Cena chose Bryan because he wanted to ride the wave of Bryan's sudden popularity and give himself what he feels is an easy win.
Drop.
Piercing. This is what makes him one of the best in the business.
He can't take much more.
Into the tie-up they go, but who's going to end up with the upper hand?
What a strike.
No one's backing down here. What an impasse.
These are two men who are proud of who they are. Daniel Bryan calling John Cena a parody of a wrestler. And in turn, Cena saying Daniel doesn't belong in the same class as The Rock, Shawn Michaels, Batista, all men Cena has beaten.
Whoa, and a bit of a test of strength here. Boom! And the tie-up, make no mistake about it, this is all about skill, determination, and power. We're at a crossroads. Neither competitor is backing down here.
Oh, nasty impact.
The collar and elbow tie-up in a battle for control here.
Cena would win a power game against Daniel, there's no doubt, and it's on display now.
Yeah, you can do all the moves you want, but sometimes power just prevails.
Wow, elbow!
It's come down to a battle of attrition right now.